The August 12, 2014 meeting of the Monroe County Legislature will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
President Adair.
Here.
Mr. Ansello. Here. Ms. Andrews. Here. Mr. Baroth. Here. Ms. Boyce. Here. Dr. Carbone. Here. Mr. Colby. Here. Mr. Daniele. Here. Mr. Delahanty. Here. Mrs. Draw. Here. Mr. Gamble. Here. Mr. Gamina. Here. Mr. Haney. Here. Mr. Howland. Here. Ms. Cayley. Here. Mr. John Lightfoot. Here. Mr. Willie Lightfoot. Mr. Marionetti. Here. Mr. Michike. Mr. Morelli, Dr. Quattro, Ms. Rivera, Mr. Rocco, Mrs. Stick, Ms. Taylor, Mr. Tucciarello, Mrs. Valerio, Mr. Wilcox, Mr. Yolovich.
Thank you. Please stay seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce Reverend Peggy Meeker of the Brockport Unitarian Universalist Association, who's been invited here tonight by Legislator Cindy Cayley.
Thank you. Will you pray with me? We invoke the infinite mystery, known by many names, limited by none. We invoke the love that abides in us, around us, and beyond us, forever and ever. We invoke the spirit of that love, the spirit of life, the spirit of justice. We are grateful for this day, a day already full and moving toward evening, but still a new day, never seen before, a day in which to do new things. We are grateful for this hour and the work before us and the opportunity to serve. We are grateful for each person in this room, every representative of the people, everyone who is here to support their work, everyone who is here with a concern, everyone who is here because they care. May we help each other to listen, to proclaim the possibilities that we see, and to create the community that we all need. May each of us, by our thoughts and actions in this hour, add to the compassion, hope, respect, wholeness, and beauty in our community and in the world. May it be so, and amen.
Legislator Paul Haney will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Legislator Haney. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. At this time, without objection, I will take agenda items number 20 and 22 out of the regular agenda order. Agenda item number 21 is moved by Mr. Tucciarello. It is seconded by Ms. Andrews. Will the clerk please read the resolution in memoriam for James F. Delahanty, father of legislator Sean M. Delahanty.
Expressing regret of the Monroe County Legislature on the recent passing of James F. Delahanty, father of legislator Sean M. Delahanty. Be it resolved that the Monroe County Legislature hereby expresses its deep sympathy at the recent passing of James F. Delahanty, father of legislator Sean M. Delahanty. And whereas James Delahanty passed away on July 7, 2014, following a week spent enjoying time with his family at their beloved summer retreat in the Adirondacks. And whereas James lived a life dedicated to his country, as a veteran of the United States Army, he served with the 113th Infantry to protect the values and freedoms he held so close. And whereas James was an employee of the Otis Elevator Company for over 32 years, where he used his skills to ensure the safety of and provide convenient access for thousands of people. His career was highlighted by his service as a project manager at the World Financial Center, which stands across the street from the World Trade Center in New York City. And whereas James was a man of great faith who belonged to the parish of St. John of Rochester. And whereas despite his accomplishments in the military and in the private sector, the most important part of his life was his family. James is survived by his wife Kathleen and his 3 children, Daniel, Sean, and Megan, as well as by his grandchildren, Aiden, Maeve, Finn, Callan, Ada, and Hope. And whereas James will long be remembered for his deep commitment to his faith, his country, and to his family. Be it further resolved that the clerk of the legislature is hereby requested to forward a copy of this resolution to the bereaved family. This resolution was adopted unanimously with each legislator rising in his or her place for a moment of silence.
Please remain standing. Agenda item number 22 is moved by Mr. Tucciarello. It is seconded by Ms. Andrews. Will the clerk please read the resolution in memorial for Jerry J. Helfer, the former Assistant County Executive?
Expressing regret of the Monroe County Legislature on the recent passing of Jerry J. Helfer, former Assistant County Executive. Be it resolved that the Monroe County Legislature hereby expresses its deep sympathy and sorrow at the recent passing of Jerry J. Helfer, who served as Deputy Supervisor for the Town of Greece after his 25-year commitment of public service for Monroe County. And whereas Jerry J. Helfer went home to be with his Lord after a brief illness on Sunday, July 13, 2014, days after his 48th birthday. Jerry will forever be remembered not only for his dedication to public service, but also for his love and devotion to his faith, his wife, his family, and friends. And whereas Jerry J. Helfer is survived by his mother Elvira and his wife of 8.5 years, Devin. Jerry was the oldest of his 2 brothers, John and Jason, and all followed their late father, John L. Helfer, into public service. He is also survived by his sister-in-laws, Tammy and Jamie, nieces and nephews, Justin, Ellie, Emily, John, Joshua, Juliana, Jordan, Jana, Jack, Jason, and Ryan, father-in-law and mother-in-law, Bruce and Christine Kolb. And whereas Jerry was a true gentleman and his honesty and hard work were the cornerstones of his career in public service, he earned the trust and respect of his friends and colleagues in the town of Greece, Monroe County, and the Republican Party. And whereas Jerry loved the town of Greece, where he served as town leader of the Republican Committee, he served the community in various ways, including 11 years on the Greece Town Board and time on the Greece Planning Board, the Zoning Board of Appeals, and the Greece Youth Board. And whereas, before being appointed as Deputy Supervisor of the town of Greece, Jerry served as Assistant County Executive under County Executive Maggie Brooks. As liaison for the county legislature, Jerry became much more than a colleague to this honorable body. He was a dear friend. And whereas Jerry J. Helfer's service was distinguished not only by the quality of his service to the people of Greece and Monroe County, but also by the quality of the relationships he built during his life. Monroe County, the town of Greece, and the Republican Party lost a respected colleague, a gentleman, and a good friend. Jerry will be greatly missed. Be it further resolved that the clerk of the legislature is hereby requested to forward a copy of this resolution to the bereaved family. This resolution was adopted unanimously with each legislator rising in his or her place for a moment of silence.
Please be seated. Good job. You have received the copies of the journal for Day 7, July 8, 2014. Without exception, that journal is going to stand approved as submitted. There's a hearing loop in place tonight to assist those who are hearing impaired. Anyone requiring assistance should inquire at the clerk's office.
If you have a cellular phone, pager, or other electronic devices in your possession, I would request that you make it inaudible for the duration of the meeting. Thank you for your cooperation.
At this time, it is my honor to introduce from our Parks Department, Mark Quinn, who is going to introduce today to us the plan of the month. Mark?
Good evening. The plan of the month this month is annual vinca, or Madagascar periwinkle. If you've done a good job with your annuals, they should look like this about this time of year. This is the time of year we're actually enjoying the fruits of our May and June planting. Vinca, or annual periwinkle, is a perennial in warmer climates. Here it's a really tremendous annual. 20 years ago, it wasn't anything like this at all. The flowers would have been very small, and this is a good example of what horticulturalists have done recently to improve plant material. This is a great plant. It has very few disease problems. It's deer resistant. It's very drought tolerant, so you can put it in hanging baskets and don't have to worry about it drying out as much as you would in some other plants. So it's a really nice annual to use, and it's relatively underused. It's a little bit on the poison side, so it's not good to use in your salad, but you'd have to eat quite a bit to be sick. With that in mind, they actually developed some cancer drugs from this plant. So plants are very beneficial to us, and this one in particular. Again, it's an interesting plant. You don't see a lot of it. It's coming more into its own now because it's very, like I say, disease resistant, and it does very well. Very tolerant plant, and a lot of very pretty colors. Those are fully mature. They grow maybe a foot to 18 inches tall, probably 12 to 16 inches wide, like full sun again. Very nice plant in the garden. Have a good night.
Point of information first, please.
Okay.
This is to make sure we have a clarification on this. These are not posies, is that correct?
No, these are Madagascar periwinkles.
Thank you very much. Just wanted to clear it up. Thanks, Mark. Legislators, the referrals submitted to the legislature for the next committee cycle are now in your folders. Tonight, this evening, we have several proclamations scheduled. Madam Clerk.
Would representatives from the Penfield Little League Intermediates baseball team please come forward? Also, President Jeffrey R. Adair and legislators Debbie Draw and E. Daniel Quattro. Whereas, on July 14, 2014, the members of the Penfield Little League Intermediate team completed an historic season by finishing with a 17-0 record and winning the New York State Little League Intermediate Tournament for the first time in Penfield Little League history. The team defeated South Orangetown by a final score of 15-9. And whereas, in addition to winning the state championship, the Penfield Little League Intermediate team displayed impressive skill and teamwork and was guided by strong leadership from Coach Mike Baxter. They ended their season as District 4 and Section 1 champions and went on to finish 5th at the 10-state Eastern Regional Tournament. And whereas the hard work of all of the Penfield players and coaches led the team to an outstanding victory, their extraordinary dedication, perseverance, and sportsmanship make them role models in their school and community. The commitment this team has shown throughout their season is admirable. The future is bright for these young competitors, and Monroe County is proud to have such talented young athletes representing our community. Now, therefore, we, Jeffrey R. Adair, President, Debbie Draw, Legislator District 9, and E. Daniel Quattro, Legislator District 15, on behalf of the entire Monroe County Legislature, do hereby recognize and congratulate the Penfield Little League Intermediate Baseball team on winning the 13 and under New York State Little League Intermediate Championship. Congratulations.
Two years ago, we stood before you in this same capacity, except we weren't state champions. And this team made it their mission or their goal to go to the state tournament and win it this year, which obviously from what you heard tonight they did. So I just want to thank the Monroe County Legislature, Mr. Adair, Ms. Draw, and Mr. Quattro, for having us in here and to give this team this honor. So on behalf of the players and the other coaches, I thank you from Penfield Little League for this opportunity to be here tonight.
Would Tyler Rank please come forward? Also, President Jeffrey R. Adair and Legislator Dick Yolovich. Whereas Tyler Rank has proven himself to be one of the best high school track and field athletes at the county, state, and national level. The recent graduate of Hilton High School became a 3-time All-American for track and field this spring after another great season. Tyler won the 3,000-meter steeplechase at both the state and Division I levels and reported the fastest times in the nation. Tyler then finished runner-up in the 2,000-meter steeplechase at the New Balance Nationals Outdoor in Greensboro, North Carolina. His remarkable high school career came to a close with a 4th-place finish in the 3,000-meter steeplechase at the USA Track and Field Junior Outdoor Championships in Eugene, Oregon, where he competed against both high school and college athletes. And whereas Tyler has had success in track and field throughout his high school career, even as a junior, he was the New York State runner-up in 3,000-meter steeplechase and finished 3rd in the 2,000-meter steeplechase at the national level. He has been selected to the All-Grader Rochester first team 5 times throughout his career at Hilton and is the first 3-time All-American for track and field in the history of Section 5. And whereas, though an incredible athlete, Tyler never forgot the importance of excellence in the classroom, finishing senior year with a 92 average. Tyler will continue his stellar career in track and field when he attends the State University of New York at Albany this fall on a full scholarship where he plans to study business. He is a role model for all student athletes in Monroe County, and we wish him the best of luck in his future. Now, therefore, we, Jeffrey R. Adair, President, and Dick Yolovich, Legislator District 1, on behalf of the entire Monroe County Legislature, do hereby recognize and congratulate Tyler Rank for his accomplishments in track and field for Hilton High School. Congratulations.
I just want to thank my mom, dad, rest of my family, my coach in the Hilton School District for supporting me, and I want to thank the county legislature for this proclamation, for the recognition.
Would Serena Young please come forward? Also, President Jeffrey R. Adair and Legislator Willie J. Lightfoot. Whereas Serena Young has become a community inspiration for her path to be a contestant on Season 7 of BET's Sunday's Best Gospel Competition Show. And whereas Serena went through auditions along with 20,000 other hopeful contestants, with only 20 moving forward in the competition. Needing 3 yeses out of 4 judges to advance, Serena received yeses from all 4. She received glowing comments from the judges after performances like, "That's what Sunday Best is all about." And whereas Serena never forgot the encouragement and support she received from family and friends when she considered walking away from singing a few years back. Knowing that serving those around us is God's plan, Serena has shown our community that it's never too late to follow your dreams. Now, therefore, let it be known that we, Jeffrey R. Adair, President, and Willie Lightfoot, Legislator District 27, on behalf of the entire Monroe County Legislature, do hereby recognize and congratulate Serena Young for being an inspiration for her refusal to give up on her dreams.
Yay! I just would like to say that the competition is not over, but I've made it to the top 5 in the competition, and I'm grateful to my dad and my church family who is all here to support me, and I'm grateful for Mr. Lightfoot for acknowledging my accomplishments in the community, and I want to thank the Monroe County Legislature for letting this be. Thank you.
Would Dan Myers please come forward? Also, President Jeffrey R. Adair and legislators Paul Haney and Joshua Baroth. Whereas Dan Myers' passion for helping those with special needs and disabilities led him to a lifelong dedication to serve the community in numerous capacities, with a commitment that has only grown stronger with the passing years. And whereas Dan's career in the nonprofit sector has included stops at the Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired, the Retired Senior and Volunteer Program, and the George Eastman House. And whereas Dan currently serves as president of the Al Siegel Community of Agencies, where he has spent the last 19 years expanding the space and services of its 8 nonprofit partner agencies, which serve over 50,000 people with disabilities. And whereas under Dan's leadership, the budget at the Al Siegel has grown significantly, and more importantly, the number of people served each year has nearly tripled. His endless commitment to serving those with disabilities and special needs has made Dan a beloved and successful leader in our community. Now, therefore, let it be known that we, Jeffrey R. Adair, President, Paul Haney, Legislator District 23, and Joshua Baroth, Legislator District 24, on behalf of the entire Monroe County Legislature, do hereby recognize and congratulate Dan Myers for his tireless dedication to helping those with disabilities and special needs in Monroe County.
Al Siegel is all about abilities. Those of us who have strength need to share ours, and all of us have strength and abilities to share. We need to make sure that everyone is included. That's really the ultimate goal of what we do together, what our agencies do so well, and it's the lesson that the people we serve teach us. Thank you very much.
You have in your folders the approved minutes from the last cycle. There are no formal committee reports scheduled for this evening. We will now hold the public forum. We have several people registered to address the legislature. Madam Clerk.
If you require assistance, a deputy is available to assist you in approaching the lectern. I will call 3 people forward at one time. Each speaker will have 2 minutes in which to address the legislature, and kindly conclude your remarks when the timer sounds and exit through the back of the chambers. Thank you for your cooperation. Our 3 speakers are William Ruhoff, Sister Grace, and Rita Lewis.
Would you announce them one more time?
Again, our 3 speakers are William Ruhoff, Sister Grace, and Rita Lewis.
behind me.
Floor is yours.
We've been working on finding a place for the homeless in the Civic Center garage. We met several times with the LDC board asking them to hold off closing the garage until we found a place. Now we're hearing rumors of the garage closing. Nothing has been said to us. We really thought we had until fall, late fall. Every place we found has been pulled out from under us. Center City translates into not on our backyard, which really blocks our efforts. Ironically, when the ice storm struck Rochester a few years back, affecting city and the suburbs, the county immediately found shelters for people who could well afford to pay hotels. When we find a place, we'll need money. We are trying to raise money, but we don't have enough. We're meeting soon with county officials to try about this whole matter because we need to find a place for the homeless. People have said to us, don't do the cities and counties' job, but we're willing to help. According to the 17th Amendment of the New York State Constitution, the state, through the county, has the obligation of taking care of the poor. Now, we've been told that the county paid $1 million a year to put up the homeless in the Cadillac. This is about $20,000 a week. You are also paying a staff to do this work. It seems that this money could be better utilized if you put it towards a shelter for the homeless, especially the ones in the garage, because they need help right now. Other counties have shelters for the homeless. Why doesn't Monroe County have a shelter for the homeless? And you can't say that we have other organizations because they only take in so many. We'll take in the whole world if we could. We don't have the room. We need your help.
Thank you. Would you announce that Rita Lewis is here now?
Our next speaker is Rita Lewis.
I am very concerned about what's going to happen to the homeless that are in the garage. Your LDC that you appointed under Maggie Brooks are the very ones who have made the decision to put the homeless out of the garage with nowhere to go. This is a very cruel thing. There's no way you should let this happen. The city shares responsibility in this, but the county ultimately is the one designated by New York State to provide the services to the indigent. So it is the county's responsibility to provide for the individuals that are in the garage that are homeless, and all homeless people. So if you have any conscience or any feeling at all, you really need to think about what is happening if that garage closes the doors to the homeless and they can't get in. Or if they're caught inside, they get arrested. It just so happens the garage is really a very good place for them because it gives them the room, the space that they need. There's plenty of space, and they can give each other the space they need. Some congregate together, a group of 3 or 4 or 5 people. Others are alone and choose to be alone. And it works. Is that the ideal housing for the homeless? No, it is not. But is that helpful and suitable and provide the need that is there? Yes, it does provide for them.
Please summarize.
So you really need to reconsider this whole plan of your LDC that is closing the garage doors to the homeless. Thank you.
Thank you.
This concludes the public forum.
At this time, we will recess the August 12, 2014 meeting of the Monroe County Legislature and convene the Pure Waters Administration Board for the Gates, Chili, Ogden Sewer District and the Rochester Pure Waters District. The clerk will please note the attendance and read the first item on the agenda.
PWAB Agenda Item 1, Referral 14-20230.
It is moved by Legislator Marinetti. It is seconded by Legislator Michikay. I believe this is a motion to adopt. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item.
PWAB Agenda Item 2, Referral 14-0241.
Moved by Legislator Michikay, seconded by Legislator Yolovich. And I believe this is the same thing. It is a motion to adopt. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? The item carries. At this time, we'll recess the Gates, Chili, Ogden Sewer District and the Rochester Pure Waters District and adjourn the Pure Waters Administration Board. The August 12, 2014 meeting of the Legislature is now reconvened. At this time, we will proceed with the considerations of motions, resolutions, and notices. Will the clerk please read the next item on the agenda? Legislator Tucciarello.
I rise to make a motion that we move items 1 through 15. Thank you, Mr. President.
Do I have a second? Second by Legislator Andrews. That is 1 through 15. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item is item number 16.
Item number 16, Referral 14-0236.
Moved by Legislator Valerio. It is seconded by Legislator Gamino. Sorry. Yes, Legislator Carbone.
I rise to make an amendment to this referral, which the staff will be passing out right now.
Okay, thank you. Legislator Carbone. Legislator Carbone, the floor is yours.
Yeah, Mr. President, the amendment that has just been distributed corrects the 2 titles within the referral. I believe it is self-explanatory. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, voting on the amendment to make the changes as is. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. The amendment carries. Back to the main motion. Is there any discussion on the main motion? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. The next item.
Item number 17, Referral 14-0240.
Item number 17 is moved by Legislator Michikay, second by Legislator Yolovich. This is for introductory purposes only. Next item, please.
Item number 18, Referral 14-0240.
Moved by Legislator Michikay, second by Legislator Yolovich. This is the motion to table. All in favor? Any opposed? That item carries. Next item.
Item number 19, Referral 14-0240.
Moved by Legislator Michikay, second by Legislator Yolovich. This is a motion to set the public hearing. Is there any discussion at this time? Legislator Haney.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just very quickly on that subject. I requested statements for the Pure Waters districts. May I anticipate that we'll receive these before the legislature will be considering this at the next meeting?
Mr. President, those combining statements will be available within 1 to 2 days.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. I believe we're on item number 20 now.
Item number 20, referral 14-0242BR.
It is moved by Legislator Boyce. It is second by Legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Our next item is item number 23.
Item number 23, referral 14-0261.
Moved by the Honorable Robert J. Colby, seconded by the Legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Legislator Andrews?
Thank you, Mr. President. Through you, could I just ask why this is coming to us this evening as an MOU, and then just for an update in terms of the status of where we are with the construction and renovations out there, please?
Through you, Mr. President, Jason Kennedy with Engineering and Facilities. We are currently conducting our consultant selection for this project. Additionally, we are doing just routine maintenance activities associated with occupancy of the premises until such time that we acquire the property.
Thank you. And through the President, is that why this came to us this evening for the vote?
Through you, Mr. President, could you repeat the question?
Through the President, just why this came to us this evening as a matter of urgency for approval.
It came as a matter of urgency so that we can acquire the property and then proceed in earnest with the full design project that came before this honorable body back in December.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Item number 24.
Item number 24, referral 14-0262.
Moved by Legislator Ansello, second by Legislator Yolovich. This is for the introductory purposes only. Next item, please.
Item number 25, referral 14-0262.
Moved by Legislator Ansello, second by Legislator Yolovich. This is a motion to table. All in favor? Any opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 26, referral 14-0262.
Moved by Legislator Ansello, second by Legislator Yolovich. This is the motion to set the public hearing. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Item number 27.
Item number 27, referral 14-0263.
It is moved by Legislator Yolovich. It is seconded by Legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion at this time? Legislator Wilcox.
Thank you, Mr. President. Might I just ask through you, Mr. President, why this is coming to us as a matter of urgency?
Yes, you may.
Is this on? Okay. Through the President, there is a Board of Ethics meeting scheduled for next week, and so there was a necessity to have all the membership appointed and present.
Through you, Mr. President, is this a regularly scheduled meeting that occurs in August?
Through the President, it occurs in the general time frame, July, August.
Through you, Mr. President, has the Board of Ethics met at all this year?
Through the President, not in 2014.
Through you, Mr. President, did they meet in 2013?
Through the President, yes.
I apologize for the number of questions here, but how many times did they meet through you, Mr. President, in 2013?
Through the President, once.
Okay. And approximately through you, Mr. President, July, August time frame?
Legislator Wilcox. may I caution you that we are doing this on a confirmation of an individual. We are not here to ask questions about how many times they've met, so.
Well,
can
it just
we
pertains to the
finish
matter
up
of
with-
urgency. I
Well,
apologize.
okay, and I think you've made it clear what.
Okay,
and
I
they've stated
appreciate,
the state.
I appreciate the answers. With respect to the composition of the Board of Ethics, I do have a question, given that we are making an appointment to the Board of Ethics. As you are aware, Article 18, Section 808 of the General Municipal Law directs the county on how we may appoint members to that board and what the composition of that board shall look like. Through you, Mr. President, could someone from the administration tell me why it is okay for the county to have more than one municipal employee on the Board of Ethics, which appears to not be in compliance with Article 18, Section 808?
Through the President, the proposed appointment and the current members of the Board of Ethics are all in compliance with the county charter, which is what controls in this situation.
Through you, Mr. President, may I ask where you believe that we are permitted under state law to make those appointments in the fashion that we are under the county charter? I mean, I understand that Article 18, Section 808 does in fact allow the county executive under a charter form of government to make the appointments, but the composition of the board, it does not allow such an exception. Do you have some sort of opinion that says that the law reads differently?
Through the President, similar to the discussion I believe we had a few months ago about the difference between the charter and the state law with respect to permissive referenda, In this situation, the state allows a local government to enact a charter provision establishing the composition of a local Board of Ethics.
And through you, Mr. President, do you have any opinions that from like the Attorney General that might help us understand where in the general municipal law that is permitted?
Through the President, I'd be happy to supply that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions at this time? I'd like to state for the record that Scott Michael Adair is my brother, if you didn't know that. You never know, right? All righty. On the confirmation of Scott Michael Adair to the Ethics Board, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. There being no unfinished business tonight, Legislator Tucciarello.
Mr. President, we stand adjourned until 6 p.m. Tuesday, September 9th, 2014. Thank you all.